There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give friendly Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. Thanks to Arlington Market, 726 Arlington Avenue, Newcastle, PA. Groceries, lunch meat, fresh cut meats, produce. It's Arlington Market, who provided funding for this program. Today's program was furnished by a grant from the Beanery Depot and Deli, featuring coffee, made-to-order subs, and snacks. The Beanery Depot and Deli in Mahoningtown. Today's program furnished by funding from Bill's Bake Shop, where smiles are everywhere. Special thanks to Butts, Flowers, Gifts, and More in downtown Newcastle for their support and funding of this program. Butts Flowers, downtown Newcastle. Today's programming was provided from funding from the Crane Room Grill and Banquet Center, 3009 Wilmington Road. A special thanks to the Crane Room for their participation. Programming provided through funding from Daimio and Olson Law Group, with offices in Elwood City and in Newcastle in the Washington Center. Daimio and Olson Law Group. Hello, friends, and yes, welcome to the 2015 version of the Newcastle Christmas Parade. And what a splendid evening we have in store for you. As you can see right now, the fire companies from Lawrence County are parading on through. This is the Newcastle Area Fire Department, or Newcastle Fire Department, Neshannock Township Volunteer Fire Department, the Hickory Township Fire Department. You'll see all these. The Shenango Volunteer Fire Department, Slippery Rock Township Fire Department, the Union Township Volunteer Fire Department, the South Newcastle Borough Volunteer Fire Department, the Newcastle Police, New Wilmington Volunteer Fire Department, Wayne Township Fire Department, Mahoning Township Fire Department, Chris Sonata's car, as you just saw pass, and now it's Sheriff Terry Coilero in the sheriff's car, Mayor Miss Strangelo, and that's up next. Also, the Neshannock Police Department, Newcastle City Council Paul Stefano in his convertible, Nick's Auto Body and Castle Towing, they're coming through next. Also, the Jameson Health Center and Phil Fitz Ford Lincoln Mercury. Just take a look at these magnificent vehicles as they're going through. What a time, and no wonder they call this the greatest castle in the world. Yes, I'm Angelo Parada. I'm your host for this parade, and What a great time had by all. We have a great crowd out. A great crowd always comes out for the parades in Newcastle, and what a great time. We're going to let you take a look at these magnificent vehicles as they make their way through, and let's just take a look at the action. And there goes the castle towing, as you can see, going past our screen. Now, a lot of times with these parades, and a tremendous effort is put by with all trying to get everything up and running, you'll have these little gaps from time to time. We're not on an elevated platform, so you pick up a lot of loud noise. You also have people crossing from one side to the other. Now there's the castle towing, and as we're making our way through, you'll see the Jameson Health Center behind this, and check out these cars from Phil Fitz Ford Lincoln Mercury. What a great representative type thing of the community, and I'm looking for words here because everybody chips in and lends a hand, and to put on something like this is monumental. Hats off to all involved. Now, as we go through, you're seeing the Castle Green runoffs, and in the distance here is the Shenango Area High School Marching Band. You know, the Wildcats are in the playoffs, and they're making their way to our reviewing stand. What you will be seeing, the Shenango Dance and Majorettes with the band. That's who's coming by now. The Shenango Midget and Pee-wee cheerleaders. They'll be right behind the band. Let's take a look. Sometimes it's hard to tell where they're going to start picking up playing as they do this on a drum count. Watch this move by the people with the brass. That was kind of cool. Now it's the Shenango midget cheerleaders and Pee-wee cheerleaders. You'll see behind them Pennsylvania Martial Arts Academy. Followed by Jennifer Lee's Dance Gallery. There's the homecoming queen for Shenango. The Downtown Business Association event needs to be commended on just a splendid job, along with Newcastle Public Works and the city and all the county and people that have helped with this parade. Here's the Jameson Health System coming into your screen right now. As you could see, crowd, really nice crowd out, and they're not crowding the streets. They're back. Hats off to the crowd and to the police for keeping a very orderly parade.
You can hear off the background.
As the band and the parade route veers to our left, we're located right in between the old post office and the Rite Aid, adjacent to the Y and the Community Christian Church of Newcastle. My roster says that Froggy 95 should be coming up next. This looks like Phil Fitz Ford Lincoln Mercury. Pretty good looking cars. Have to go up and ask them if they want to give me one. Sometimes when you're doing this, there's so many groups, it becomes difficult to line up on the interbelt. Now this is the Pennsylvania Martial Arts Academy, as we were saying before. You see a float behind them. Now, generally when you see something like that where they stop in front of our reviewing stand, that's because everybody's having a little difficult making all the turns. But the parade route is a nice parade route as it goes down Washington Street and up East Street onto North and back to the Interbelt. One of the floats in the parade right here. By the Pennsylvania Martial Arts Academy. A windy evening, as you could see with the blowing of the bags and everything, just really breezy, a little chilly, but not bad for a parade. Now this is Jennifer Lee's Dance Gallery. They always put on a great show. Newcastle Police, keeping everything moving smoothly. Studio, and we also have the sidewalk there's a lot of Christmas spirit. We had some flakes of snow earlier. As evidenced by the windshield wipers. This is the Lawrence County Lightning. They're a youth hockey team in Newcastle. They play at Hess. And we've had them on NCTV45 quite a few times. There's the guys from the hockey team. And if you ever get a chance to go up and watch this, it is truly exciting. I know I've enjoyed it going up, watching a hockey game, and also putting it on. Really, really a great type evening. We are limited a little bit this evening with our camera angles because of the weather. There is a high wind advisory, and it's kept us back on our heels. Now this is Ludovici's dance studio, making their way through Dance Academy. And I'll tell you what, as you can see the flag in the background, really, really windy. The wind gusts have been getting up to 50, 55 miles an hour downtown here. One of the more windy parades I've been to. The wind is actually what's making it a little chilly, as the temperature isn't that low. But last year it was definitely colder. The Diamond Girls from the Y, and now this is the Newcastle Lions Club. They do a lot of great things with people that have these vision issues. Good to see the light. This program furnished by a grant from Ferrone Brothers. 2 locations, Newcastle on Mill Street and Wilmington Road in Newcastle. This program furnished by a grant from Keystone Specialty, Newcastle's party store on Mill Street in Newcastle. Today's program was paid for by a grant from Pegley's Pasta and More, East Washington Street in Newcastle. A special thanks to Paul D. Weller Hardware in Mahoningtown for providing funding for this program. Today's programming furnished by a grant from Chalala and Carney Florist on Mill Street in Newcastle. Today's programming was provided through funding from DiCaprio Cleaners. DiCaprio Cleaners in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Today's program furnished by funding from Gallows Italian Villa, Wilmington Road, Newcastle.
There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give them a Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. Lions Club coming through. That's one of our vendors crossing in front of our camera. Next year we definitely need to be a little bit more elevated. Newcastle Lions Club.
Lions Club.
Those guys look comfortable. Operation Christmas Child. One of our first programs was working with Operation Christmas Child. Here comes New Visions. New Visions working for a better Wishing you a very Merry Christmas. This is a trolley float, and I didn't catch it. Life Lawrence County, I believe, is coming up next. And that was New Creation Church. You should be seeing LCAP and Head Start coming through. There's a New Life of Lawrence County Partnership of Caring. Now, as approaching is the Laurel Area High School Marching Band. Here's Mary's. Right behind Mary's is the Laurel High School Marching Band. And a magnificent group. Mary's a former sponsor on NCTV45. Now let's take a look and listen to the Laurel High School Marching Band. A lot of time and work goes into band. A lot of people don't know the girls and the drill football team, cross country, all making their way through the meeting from Laurel. Look at these smokestacks. This is the Laurel Spartan cheerleaders. Another float featuring the Pee Wee cheerleaders. You know, a lot of times we take for granted they don't have these kind of parades in other towns. Truly something to be aware of living here in Lawrence County. The floats just keep coming. And that's the varsity and junior varsity cheerleaders from Laurel. Give them a hi as they're going by. Girls are waving. Chilly night. Gotta do something to keep warm. I think they're waving at my son. And yes, those Spartan flags. And the varsity athletes and junior high athletes from Laurel Here comes one of the bigger floats of the parade. And this is the first responder float. And you can't get a real good idea of just how big this is as it goes through. Huge. First responders. Gifts to our lives. How true. Now here's Froggy 95. Hats off to Froggy as they make their way through the parade route. Lawrence County Community Action Partners, they have a float in the parade. Here it is. And next you're going to see Head Start following them. Now, First Presbyterian Church, and they have hot chocolate, coffee, and some cookies available after the parade. Sounds like a good idea. Here's our next float, as you can see, starting off to the right, is about Daniel's Law, and the float sponsored by Dallas Hartman. Daniel's Law is everybody has a right to the road. And that's why you see the bikes, the motorcycles in front of us. As I said, a windy night out here. Our lights swinging and swaying. Crowd very, very well behaved. Great crowd. Everybody keeping the parade route open. Now, approaching us here is Habitat for Humanity. We did a couple of shows with these folks. There's the bears and the sled and the polar ice. Our next float has that Christmas tree, and as it went by, part of that Habitat for Humanity. Here's McGruff, the crime dog. St. Luke's AME Zion Church. So many great things and great people taking part in the parade. As always, this year, it's always so special when you get to see things like this happening in what I call the greatest castle in the world. Now, this is Oak Point Christian Center. They have a float and walkers. Wind picking up here. Should have taken that cup of coffee with me. Now, next up is our neighbors, Keller Williams, over there in Washington Center. Now, Keller Williams, as they were doing the float right outside our studio, they were battling the wind as we were, and it was windy and it was cold. So here comes Keller Williams with the KWs. Right on their shirt. A little snowman in the back. Everybody cuddled in front of that fireplace, and I think you need to be cuddled tonight. Great people, great neighbors, Keller Williams. Welcome to the city. Thanks to Tom Wilson for finding somebody like that to come. Town lit up, looks just excellent. And here's Titan Radio 88.9. Hats off to all those Titans over there in New Wilmington and Westminster. And I can't say enough good things about Westminster College. This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine. Today's programming was provided from funding
For all the neighbors in life, talk to State Farm agent Michael Joseph in Newcastle. State Farm is there.
This program provided by funding from Joshua Sun Rehabilitation, Wilmington Road, Newcastle. A special thanks to the YMCA for caring about the Lawrence County community and providing funding for this program. Today's programming provided by Geno's Grocery, Deli, Lottery. Convenient and on your way. Geno's in Mahoningtown. This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com.
There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give them a Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. National Honor Society, and it's the Neshannock High School Marching Band coming into our screen. Let's listen. Shannick still in the WPL playoffs. Hats off and good luck to them as they continue on their road to Hines. Now it's the Daniel Lee Kennedy Memorial Foundation. They have a truck and walkers as they move through. You'll be seeing Superior Motor Sport. They have a fine car in the parade. As I was able to look down past everything, one of the vendors on his way through. Now, this big float making its way through here is really magnificent. This is one of the second biggest floats in the parade, and it's SMG Steve Glasia, and the word is Snowed Christmas, as he imitates that Grinch and hoping for snow. And just then, look at this. The snow blows through. What a great atmosphere. You can't say enough about the Christmas parade in downtown Newcastle. Absolutely magnificent. Look at the fire coming out of the truck in just beyond us. We're gonna get to that in a second. Absolutely. Now this is Superior Motors with a float as they make their way through, and this just has me tickled with these smokestacks of fire. Better not get it too close to that snowman in the back. Ronald McDonald made his way down. Everybody's showing up. Victory Christian Youth, right behind the McDonald's float. I could definitely go for one of those cups of coffee.
Every single morning I think of something new. It makes me feel better when I pass it on to you. Cause every time you smile, it makes it worthwhile. It's laughing universal and we know it's all true. See, it's something in this world that everyone can do. Doesn't matter where you live, no matter where you move. Doesn't
We are
matter
one.
what you big, no matter if you're small. Cause when you laugh, you have it all.
Glad to see they're in the parade. The whole community comes out, and what a great time. You know, a lot of times people take for granted the very place we live. What a great community we have here in Newcastle. Hats off to all of the sponsors, the people that made this happen. You know, and I'll go over that again at the end, but really hats off to everybody as they've made this parade really special. Center stage. Dance Academy. making their way through. And now you're going to look at this vintage truck, antique, with the Pepsi-Cola license plate on it from Michelangelo's. I like the truck. Absolutely magnificent. And Car Connection. And behind them, this program furnished by Melzer's Fuel Service. Melzer's since 1977. Daryl Knight, Territorial Manager. Mr. Pizza provided a grant for this program. Mr. Pizza, East Washington Street. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. Special thanks to Little Johnny's 2 downtown, who provided funding for this program. Funding provided by Main Street Clothiers and Tailors, Washington Street, Newcastle.
There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give them a Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. Is the Union Area High School Marching Band, and hats off to my alma mater. Go Scotties. They were in the playoffs. They drew a tough first round to North Catholic, but always doing a great job. There goes Car Connection. And now let's listen to the Union Area High School Scotty Marching Band. Another one of the floats with the Pee-wee cheerleaders on it and the midget cheerleaders. Little snowman action there. Notice he had a blue hat. Primary Health Network. Dale's Garage, right around the corner from Union High School and Park Complex, Scotland Meadows. A lot of great treasures in this castle. Have to be thankful sometimes for what you have. Now another float, and I believe this is by Well, that's probably the midget cheerleaders, as I can see First Assembly making their way to us. Yes, the reason for the season, First Assembly of God Church, showing the beginnings and the ends and the greatest gift, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Important to keep Christ in Christmas. I firmly believe that. Now, it's the Lawrence County Career and Technical Center coming through right after First Assembly of God. And they have an indoor festival going on. We'll tell you more about that on Newswatch. Noga's ambulance. I can't say enough about everybody being involved and being in the parade. What a great time. And here's their all-terrain vehicle behind them, labeled EMS. NCTV45, happy to bring you the 2015 version of the Newcastle Christmas Parade downtown. Hope you're enjoying the festivities. Here we go with another float. And it's the land of misfit toys. And Rudolph, great float there. There's the Lawrence County Career and Technical Center. You can see what I'm talking about when I talk about the height that you have to have during these parades. Quite a few people down here. As one of those snowmen make their way through from the Lawrence County Career and Technical Center. First student behind them. For all the transportation needs for the students of this great county. As the guy went and got more candy right in front of the reviewing stand. I wonder if they have coffee in that bus. Yes, the Nutcracker Regional Ballet. We talked about that on Newswatch. They're in the parade with a float also. You know, take advantage of these holiday happenings, events that we have going on. they're reasonably priced, and you can't find them just everywhere. It's a family thing, and it'd be great memories. That's how they're made. Now behind them we have Hoop Spirit, and take a look at those hoops. Newcastle's own Hoop Spirit. There goes Martha Constance. And look at the wind. And Martha's in charge of that Holly Jolly Holiday Tour. And make sure that you take part in that event. Great time downtown. There's Frosty making his way through, and it is frosty tonight. That's Reichard's Bar and Grill. Next up, you'll see Guiding Hands Real Estate. Notice the wind, because I can't say enough. Standing out here, I'm getting blown apart. It's wind gusts. It always isn't, you can't really just tell when you're going to get hit by one of these. So we couldn't really bring the camera and everything out because of the amount of wind. So we're shooting from an elevated position on Kennedy Square West inside our truck, as we have it's elevated, but not as much as we'd like. There's the wrestling club. Another great activity. And here comes the Mohawk Area High School Marching Band. Let's take a listen. And that brownie troop. There's the homecoming queen from Mohawk. Chilly night to be riding. Chilly night to do anything with that wind blowing. But what a great night for a parade. As you can see, those trees are blown in the background. Salvation Army. Here's the Brownies with Rudolph. Salvation Army is going to be behind them. What a great crowd, great parade in downtown Newcastle. Definitely can't say enough good things about everything that's going on. Now the big white truck you see it approaching is the Salvation Army. And I never knew, they're celebrating 130 years, I never knew they had disaster vehicles at the Salvation Army. But look at the size of this vehicle. Truly spectacular. Cricket Wireless in the parade. Now it's the Newcastle Beauty School, Newcastle Beauty Academy, and they've been down for some fundraisers here at NCTV45. What a great group of people up there, right over the bridge. We already saw the rainbows, Newcastle Rainbow Girls. They're making their way through now. Parade complete with fireworks, floats, bands. A great city. Don't take for granted what you have. Now as the floats make their way down here, you have the Major Miners, Maitland Lane Methodist Church, and Newcastle Student Council. It's funny as I look at the Maitland Lane Methodist Church float, the wind has the stars swinging from back and forth. There you can see it just coming into our screen. And that's the wind, because it's going forwards, backwards. That angel had been hit by a star. Again, it's the reason for the season, as their float very nice, a manger, Now here comes the Newcastle Peppermints. A lot of people spend a lot of time with the floats. Hats off to them. And they're the Peppermints. They do their half times at all the youth football games. The Newcastle Youth Cheerleaders. Here's the Newcastle High School Student Council. And I can tell you, Diane Rankin worked long and hard on that banner. Now, as we're waiting, when you see these flashing lights, that tells you that the arrival of the big man himself is just around the corner. And right behind this next float, and as tradition in the parade, this is medevac. As tradition in the parade, it's the Newcastle High School Marching Band. Let's take a listen, and then you're going to be seeing the big man himself and the fire truck bringing Santa to Lawrence County. Started the teddy bear tradition. They give those out to the kids. Here's the Red Hurricane marching band. Newcastle cheerleaders following the flag line. And there he is, up on top of the truck. Yes, it's Santa Claus ushering in this Christmas season. The homecoming queen for Newcastle, and right beyond her, Santa Claus waving high atop the truck from the Newcastle area. Newcastle Fire Department. I don't know why I keep saying area, but Santa Claus makes his way to Newcastle in Lawrence County. What a great parade. If you missed it, here goes my lovely wife and daughter as they are making their way through. If you missed the parade, check out NCTV45. As I said, we're available anytime on your time, and we thoroughly enjoy bringing you community events like this. What a great time. It was splendid. If you missed it, stop down next year. Come down for the Holly Jolly Holiday Tour and check out downtown Newcastle. Give the good old Newcastle a try, as you see in our advertisements of the city. For the 2015 edition of the Newcastle Christmas Parade, for NCTV45, I'm Angelo Parada. Hopefully you have a great evening and have a great day in the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence. Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45, and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station.
There's more than